Okay, this is a man who does not need an introduction. He is an ancestral person of Long Lake that can go trace his history way back. Served as supervisor, so he knows a little bit about the town and the people. But what you probably don't know is something about his military past. We won't go into big detail, but you have to know that he rose to the leadership position of a battery commander, which is company commander type thing, in the C Battery, the 143rd Field Artillery Battalion. Now, what does that mean? So most of us don't know what that means. That means that he was responsible for the health and welfare and mission accomplishment of about 137 soldiers. A terrible responsibility in a place called Kumsong, Korea. So, again, a great member of our community, a great leader for our community, and a great leader in the United States Army. I'd like to introduce Tom Bissell.
I appreciate that. Memorial Day owes its existence to Confederate ceremonies to honor the Southern dead of the Civil War. Shortly after the end of that war, which occurred in 1865, Mrs. John Logan, wife of General John Logan, who was head of the American Army, visited Confederate ceremonies near Richmond, which greatly impressed her to the point that she convinced her husband to declare a decoration day, because that's what the Southerners were doing. They were decorating the graves of their dead. And she convinced her husband to declare a declaration day for the whole Army. And later this came to be called Memorial Day and the national holiday. In the case of Long Lake, the celebration of Memorial Day owes its existence to Daniel J. Hughes, who came here as school principal in 1916, then served in World War I, and when he returned to Long Lake, he organized the annual march of school children from the school to the cemetery under the aegis of the American Legion. I well remember practicing marching when I was in the second or third grade. I remember well practicing marching behind the band as we marched around and around the school building. Mr. Hughes was principal for about 40 years, so the system became well engraved on the citizenry. I want to remark briefly on some facts about our beautiful cemetery, which never ceases to impress. It was created by the town of Long Lake in 1881 to replace a previous cemetery located across the Newcomb Road, just over that way, between the houses of Bruce Arsenault and West Cornish. The bodies were moved to this new cemetery in 1881. The purpose of Memorial Day, of course, is to honor all those who served in the armed forces of the United States in all its wars. We have buried here veterans of the War of 1812, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. There were around 20 men who served in the Civil War from Long Lake. The numbers are slightly difficult to figure out, but apparently 2 men from here were killed and 3 were very badly wounded, and their graves are marked with Grand Army of the Republic markers, similar to the American Legion markers of our day. And by the way, the Civil War dead, both North and South, was more than all our other wars put together. The latest revision shows that the number of dead in the Civil War was about 650,000. 43 Long Lakers served in World War I, with 4 killed. Actually, 2 of the people that were killed were Tucker Lakers, and one of the American Legion outfits over there is named for those 2 men. World War II, of course, was our largest effort, with 122 men and women serving. And of these, 6 were killed in combat. I knew all 6. And any time I am asked to speak at Memorial Day services, I name them and honor them for their sacrifice. Alfred Cole, brother to Margie Wilson, Florence Cole, and Jake Cole. Robert Duane, brother to Evelyn Mazik and Dolly Grenier. Ed and Tim Hamner, they both served in the Navy, and they were the only sons of Delia and Ed Hamner Sr. Ed McGinn, only son of Annie and Allie McGinn. Philip Lapel, brother of George Lapel, Dale Lapel, Richard Lapel, Jonathan Lapel, Lenora Seaman, Ann Sabatis, Barbara Hebert, Ruth Lapel, and Darlene Lapel. And I add on to this, I want to emphasize all of these 6 were men killed in combat. For example, Alfred Cole was shot down over Germany. Ed and Tim Hamner were in the Navy. They were killed in action. Their bodies were never recovered. Phil Lapel was blown up by a mine in Italy. They were all men that meant something to all of us. As of very recently, there are no World War II vets left in Long Lake with the death of George Boudreaux. We were extremely lucky that Long Lake had no combat deaths among the 23 Long Lakers in the Korean War, nor among the roughly 70 veterans of Vietnam. And I'm hoping that our luck holds in Afghanistan. In closing, I say to the heroic dead of all wars who lie here in this peaceful and spiritual cemetery, that we have not forgotten you, that you live in our minds, and that we owe you a perpetual debt. I thank you for your attention.